Good morning, happy Easter. How's it going today? I'm knackered. I think I've said that many times over the last few months, but I am absolutely knackered today. Anyway, life goes on. I must continue. Lyra's just gone for a run. Lyra's going running. Bye.
Bye.
30k today.
See you soon.
30k, yeah?
Yeah, 30k.
Good luck. And so now I've got work to do in the garden. Here are some flowers that I picked up yesterday at Bert and Agnes Hall. This is a rose bush. And then there are two other flowers. This one will produce white flowers and this one pink. They almost look like daisies. So the job for today is to get these in the ground. Also here I've got a mixture of seeds. You might remember my video from last week when I went to buy some wildflower seeds. So I'm going to scatter these in the garden and see if we can get lots of flowers growing. I'm going to work smart and use this wheelbarrow. Well, luckily I've got two little helpers with me again today in the garden. The first job is to wet the ground to try and make it a little bit easier to work with because it's quite hard at the moment. Luckily, Freddie really enjoys playing around with the hose pipe. That's a noun, that's a yellow thing that's got in his hand that we use for spraying water all over the place. Next up, I'm going to be trying to dig the ground using this fork, that's a noun, and it looks quite easy but it's really difficult. So difficult in fact that I actually broke the fork. Oops. So I had to use this shovel instead, that's a noun. And shovels are usually used for digging, so it's not ideal for this job, and also it's much heavier than the fork. So this was actually pretty difficult. What I want to do next is turn this compost as a verb, to turn it, and get the fine stuff from the bottom. So I'm going to be using this compost to give the plants a really good start. It's going to act as food for them when I get them in the ground. So I'm going to shovel some into this wheelbarrow. I can use shovel as a verb as well, to use a shovel to shovel something. And then I'm going to get it tipped out over here onto this ground. And I want to mix it all in so that it's spread out nice and evenly all the way across the garden. And then I just put a whole shovelful into this hole before I planted the rose bush. I just want to give the rose bush lots of food so that it has a good chance of having a good first year in the ground. It's bloody hard work and it's really windy outside. It's quite warm today actually, but it's windy, far too windy for making any sort of video. So that's why I'm in here in the greenhouse. But yeah, why exactly am I planting all of these flowers? Well, like I said, the idea is to attract more insects, specifically bees, into my garden. And it's more just of sort of a long-term investment. You know, I realise now from trying to grow a garden 2 years in a row that you have to have lots of insects and they're not always a pest. So it's going to be nice to try and work more with nature this year and I'm looking forward to it. In this little tub, well, it's a complete and utter lucky dip. I've no idea really what's in there. Last week I bought 5 different types of seeds. 3 of them were already mixed seeds and then I bought 2 other type of flower. And I've mixed them all in together, so now we're going to scatter them all over this ground that we've just been preparing.
Recording now.
Okay. And finally, I'm going to scatter them all over the soil. To use that verb again, to scatter means to spread them around in a kind of random way, just as nature would itself. I'm not really bothered how they grow, I'd just like to have lots of flowers up here and lots of colours and lots of insects buzzing around in the garden. And then just to finish off, I'm going to use this rake as a noun to rake across the ground and just make it a little bit smoother. So that's it, we're finished for today. All we've got to do now is tidy up and then edit this vlog and we'll be done. I can have some time off finally this weekend before back to work tomorrow on a Monday morning. What do you think to my new cameraman? Jensen's been doing the filming today in the garden. Give us a like if you enjoyed his work. Do you enjoy taking videos?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think you're good at it?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much for your help today.
You're welcome.
Whew, well, that was thirsty work. I'm ready for a glass of water. All in all, it was pretty successful. Got it done quite quickly. There unfortunately were 2 casualties, the fork and also this plant. Jensen was a little heavy-handed as an adjective with it, and unfortunately the stem snapped before we got it in the ground. But oh well, you win some, you lose some. right?
And we do have enough transport, a big car for a small garden.
I think I scattered, as a verb to scatter, to throw something loosely. Probably scattered about 300, 400, maybe 500 seeds just now. So yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens in a few months and see if we can come back. And I'll give you a progress update later in the season. We'll see how they're growing, all right?
Yeah.